This is Alex Jones crying.
I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. These people hate our children.
Hate our children? What? He's crying right now because the court decided, or a jury of his peers decided that he owed money to the Sandy Hook families. You know, the parents who lost their kids in this attack and who he targeted directly, gave their names, and I'm not sure if it was him or if it was Owen Shroyer or who it was, but somebody on his Infowars system doxed them, put their addresses out and their names and everything. And they got death threats. They had to pay money to move, and every time they would move, Alex Jones followed them around and, like, told everybody, all of his little nutcases, where they lived. So, you know, I don't like seeing anybody cry. That's sad. But you know who else cried? The guy who lost his son before committing last year because of Alex Jones. That's who else cried. So my sympathy is limited. If you're unfamiliar with this story, I'll give you the whole thing. Let's just talk about, like, what Alex Jones did, the Sandy Hook thing, and all of it. But first, let's listen to him cry more.
Just take more calls. Go ahead, do the next person.
Oh, it's so painful, dude. Just take more calls. Go to the next person. I don't want anybody to feel that inside. And the fact that he made others feel that way doesn't justify it. It's not like, I don't have an eye for an eye mindset. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, as they say. I'm sorry that he's suffering, but he has to make these families whole. And if in the process of making them whole, he loses everything, I guess he loses everything, doesn't he? He'll still be able to broadcast from his phone, if nothing else. Here's another clip from the same thing. He's literally just sitting there breaking down on air, crying. By the way, all of this was like early June 2024.
I've had secret federal filings filed on me that I'm committing crimes, referred to the Justice Department.
How does he know any of it? It was secret stuff? How would he know then?
Which, of course, wasn't true. We'd already filed it in federal court months before. They didn't even check this shit. If you're going to frame somebody and lie about them to goddamn federal court.
Thanks for the language, Alex. I'm going to have to put some duck quacks in now.
No, it's already filed the goddamn court, you bastard. So you. And anybody else that tries to go on your shit. You want war, you got it. I told you one more lie, and I was going to do this, all right?
Do what? What's he going to do after somebody lies? What's he even talking about right now? This is like Greg Locke claiming that some of his fellow televangelists, Kenneth Copeland, Joel Osteen, and others, he has images of an inappropriate nature of children. He's holding them as evidence against Kenneth Copeland. He found them on Kenneth Copeland's phone or something. And if he dies, then there's a kill switch to send these pictures to the police. Why do you have those?
Full-blown demon-possessed Satan worshipers like Kenneth Copeland, the most powerful pastor in America. He's a demon, and he's going to hell, and you tell him I said so. I wish to God that demon would take me to court. I'll show the pictures I've got.
Give them to the police. What are you doing? I don't care what reason you have. That's illegal to own. Is that what he's saying here, Alex Jones? Is he saying he's got some of that stuff, some of those pictures that he's going to use against people or something?
Court, you bastard. So you. And anybody else that tries to go on your shit. You want war, you got it. I told you one more lie, and I was going to do this, all right? I tried to sustain this place. I didn't believe America was as corrupt as this. I didn't believe we were this and we are this. This country is administratively got a bunch of scum in charge of it. That's why it's going down the tubes, and America and the whole world sees it. So you misjudged who I am, and any of your minions misjudged who I am, and you have no idea. No idea.
No, I know exactly who Alex Jones is. He's the kind of person who would lie on camera, knowingly, that was decided by a jury, knowingly lie about families who lost their kids in an attack on a school and spread their name around in his little extremist groups so that people can stalk them and act like nutcases. I know who you are, Alex. I know exactly who you are.
No idea. So go ahead. Try to some operation to shut the doors here and do that
My God, dude. I'm going to have so much editing to do.
and prove everything I said. It doesn't matter. And I don't sit there and make threats. I make promises.
By the way, guy on the left is Owen Shroyer. He had a big part in this. I believe he's the one that doxed the families. I don't remember exactly what it was he did. He doxed them, I think, and he also further perpetuated this whole lie without vetting it at all. Like, literally at all. Somebody handed him a piece of paper from a known propaganda website, and he just read it verbatim, basically said, oh, look, turns out the Sandy Hook family's blah, 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 whatever. See, they're crisis actors. It's fake. It's all fake. Just straight up disgusting, dude. Quick interjection, this won't take long, I promise. I'd appreciate it if you watched to the end of the video, or at least a couple extra seconds, because YouTube bases its algorithm off of watch time. The more watch time a video has, the further the video will go. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally. The 100 questions are intended to challenge a religious leader, so I'd appreciate it if you give it a read. Okay, back to the video.
I haven't had time yet to dig it out of my phone, but I will. And
is he talking about the CP images that he has over the heads of what, FBI agents or something? What is he going to dig out of his phone?
you will, at the end of the day, know that Alex Jones, the American patriot,
American patriot,
defeated your evil ass.
Yeah, anyway, God, it's so entertaining. There was a lot of stuff that happened. Yeah, here we go. Here's another example of him just melting down on air.
We have to stay here. We have to let them shut us down. We have to stand all the way to the end, and we're going to win.
You could hear it in his voice. I don't know if this is real, if he's actually crying, or if he's a crisis actor, if you will. I don't know. But I'm still enjoying the hell out of it. Sorry.
Jones, I think everybody needs a war cry, man. Can you muster a war cry?
It's a big joke.
It's not really, though. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's also inspiring.
My voice will completely go into this, but it's fine. It's my resistance to them. It's a God's transmission. It's a human under attack.
All right.
I'm just eating this up. I'm enjoying every second of this. I'm sorry, man. If you don't know this whole situation, Sandy Hook was a school in Connecticut, and it was attacked. I think 20 kids lost their lives and 6 faculty or something. It was ugly. And it was under Obama, I think. Well, anyway, Alex Jones started lying about them, like flat out lying. He started saying that they're crisis actors, they're faking it, all kinds of messed up stuff. And not only did he say that they're faking it, but I believe Infowars even doxed their information, like their addresses and their names and stuff. And they had to move multiple times because Alex Jones and Owen Shroyer, one of his other hosts on Infowars, this guy on the screen here, these guys kept following them around and spreading their information, and Alex Jones nutcases were stalking them. Why did Alex target the Sandy Hook victims in particular and not other victims? By his logic, wouldn't all attacks have been staged? The reason he targeted it was because I think it happened in 2013. It was so heinous and brutal and horrific that Alex Jones believed that Obama was going to try to take everyone's guns, basically. He thought that everyone's using this as the premise to take guns. So I guess even if he recognized that it was real, which I think he did. In fact, I think that was proven in court, that he actually knew it was real. Even if he knew it was real, he wanted to demonize it and pretend it wasn't because that would prevent it from having any effect on Obama taking guns. I mean, that was his thought process. Also, once he started talking about it heavily, it brought in a lot of foot traffic. As I said earlier, it finally got to the point where one of the dads who lost his kid checked out because of Alex Jones, because of what he was doing. Last year, he checked out. I have very little sympathy, but he was brought to court in a civil matter. They sued him. The families sued Alex Jones to make him pay restitution to them, basically, a punitive amount, and refund them for all of the money they spent moving because they had to move because of him. They were awarded, I think, a total of $1 billion between all of them. This attorney right here on the right, oh, he is a king, man. Standing up there right now in the blue jacket. He is awesome. I love this guy to death. Quick interjection. This won't take long, I promise. I just want to say I'd appreciate it if you check my Patreon. OwenMorgan.com/Patreon to find it. YouTube's algorithm goes up and down, so I can never predict where it's going to be. Having patrons gives me some level of stability. Okay, back to the video. So Alex Jones was ordered to do a whole bunch of things. Like, he was ordered to show up to court. He just didn't show up in one of his other trials, I think in Texas. Just didn't come. And as a result, it defaulted to the plaintiff. The judgment defaulted to them. And he's been ordered to pay all of this money in addition to the Sandy Hook one, or in addition to this Connecticut lawsuit. He refused to turn over evidence on his phone. He just wouldn't do it. And then in one of the, what I guess, court appearances or whatever, when he's testifying, this happened. Listen to this. By the way, all of this happened, this is, I think, July 28th, 2022. Yeah, July 28th, 2022, I believe.
There's all of the stuff in there. He cannot now come into court and claim 2.3 gigabytes of phone material, blanket designation of confidentiality. The protective order prohibits that.
So you can't claim that your phone is 100% completely protected, like they have a right to access some of that information. Like texts between Alex Jones and Infowars staff to see if he really did know. And he did. He knew. So just, I think a few minutes later, or maybe the next day, this happened.
Mr. Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right? You've had iPhone text messaging for several years now.
Yeah.
What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taken from?
I don't know whose phone's taken from.
He's lying. It was his phone. And he doesn't realize.
I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take stuff off.
Can I have you look in the very bottom below the very bottom left corner? Is that the phone number?
Yes. So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't.
No.
Nice trick.
No, what happened was Alex Jones refused to turn it over, and as you'll find out in a second, there was a mistake that got all of the information legally free and clear to the opposition, to the plaintiffs in this situation, the Sandy Hook families. He refused to turn it over, and he's like, oh, so you did have it. It was a mess up.
So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones. Oh. Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from.
This is showboating on the attorney's part, but I'll forgive it.
You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago,
Uh-oh.
your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me.
Oh, God. Just picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies on that one, didn't he?
You said you didn't have text message about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over. Just
Just
And
answer the question.
you said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr.
And it turns out that there really is Sandy Hook stuff in there that he refused to turn over. That is something, man.
Sounds correct. And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course, I mean, that's why you got it.
No, Mr. Jones, that's not why.
My lawyer sent it to you, but I'm hiding it.
Yeah, he was supposed to only send very specific things, like a tranche of emails, for example, or a tranche of text messages, and he sent the whole thing. Oh, man, I love it. This is why you should never do something technical if you aren't technically proficient, because you can end up in a very bad position like this with some asshole on YouTube laughing about it on the other end.
My lawyer sent it to you, but I'm hiding it. Okay.
Mr. Jones,
Mr. Jones, that's
just answer questions. There's no question.
No, I love everything about it, man. It's just fantastic. Bizarrely, Alex Jones was going out and attacking the judge during the trial. Of course, right? But that's like illegal in many cases. You have to be really careful about that. The judge basically was planning to like punish him for this. She said, I'm going to put a gag order on you, just like with Donald Trump. And he said, I'm not talking bad about you. What are you talking about? And then he goes out there and just talks shit about her like the very next day.
And she said, I'm going to instruct the jury that you're a liar tomorrow.
That's not what happened.
I mean, it's unprecedented. Then she ordered my lawyer to violate attorney-client privilege and tell her about our private conversations.
The lawyer has to say things in some specific cases. And also, she wrote jury instructions. It said Alex Jones lied about not having text messages on this subject in his phone, basically. That was in the jury instructions and part of the evidence. That's what he's talking about. But he's the victim in this, right?
Which is just unprecedented. I mean, this is like a tour de force of how to violate people's rights. It's unbelievable, and I just feel sorry for everybody, including these whacked out leftists and lawyers and the judge. I mean, they are...
Dude, I love how he says whacked out. Whacked out. That's great.
Unbelievable, and I just feel sorry for everybody, including these whacked out leftists and lawyers and the judge. I mean, they are all just over the deep end and have no idea what they've done. She also made this really weird statement where she said, you believe everything you say is the truth.
That's the situation with Alex Jones. And now he's left on the other end crying on air. Poor guy, huh?
Today, we're going to beat these people. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight.
Anybody think maybe he's a crisis actor here?
People hate our children.
That's another thing he did. He called them crisis actors, said that they pretended. Sandy Hook was just a plot to get your guns. That was the whole bit. That was why he was complaining about it and all that, and doxing people. Said that they're like working with the government and stuff.
Just take more calls. Go ahead, there's the next person.
Dude, I love everything about it. It's just so good. All right, I got one more clip for you guys. This is Owen Shroyer, one of the hosts in the Infowars team, and he lied about the Sandy Hook people, and he also didn't fact check anything, as you'll see in a second. Check this clip out. This is Owen Shroyer, like, on the thing.
So, folks, now, here's another story. You know, I don't even know if Alex knows about this, to be honest with you. Alex, if you're listening and you want to, or if you just want to know what's going on, Zero Hedge has just published a story.
Zero Hedge, by the way, is a Russian propaganda website. It's run by Russians. I mean, all of this has been established for, like, a really long time. The owner of the website is 0 Point Now, Russian propagandist. So he's getting his information from propaganda websites.
Zero Hedge has just published a story. Megyn Kelly fails to fact-check Sandy Hook father's contradictory claim in Alex Jones' hit piece. Now again, this broke, I think it broke today, I don't know what time, but featured in Megyn Kelly's expose, Neil Heslin, a father of one of the victims, during the interview described what happened the day of the shooting, and basically basically what he said, the statement he made, fact checkers on this have said cannot be accurate.
This is all fabricated, by the way. This is all a fictitious world that they built up. And that's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law multiple times. These people lost their children. And Alex Jones and his network were looking for holes to poke, looking for reasons to hurt these families. Does it get lower than this? Honestly? This is pretty low. Anyway, so Owen Shroyer, he was grilled after, the whole thing for that clip because he just grabbed a piece of paper and said, this is breaking, Zero Hedge, blah, blah, blah. Listen to this.
You didn't check the source, right?
You're referring to Zero Hedge?
Right.
You gonna answer?
You didn't check the source. You didn't check the author.
Well, I mean, I saw it said Zero Hedge on it.
That's not a source. My God, bro. He knows nothing. He doesn't know anything about fact checking or sources or citations or journalism. Nothing. If you want to use my commentary as a source for how atheists on YouTube view the world or how they feel about subjects or something, that's 100% fine. I'm not a source for the Alex Jones trial. You can't write a book and cite me in the source. You need to find the original source to this. Anyway, he doesn't seem to understand that. Like, he doesn't understand the very basics of journalism. Like, I'm not a journalist and I know this.
You didn't check the source. You didn't check the author.
Well, I mean, I saw it said Zero Hedge on it.
Okay, that's the website, right?
Yes.
That's not where it originated from, though, right?
Well, to me it was.
Wasn't the question. It's not where it originated from, right?
Well, it was published on Zero Hedge. That's where I saw it. But
Reputable news websites will have a link to the original documents. Okay, there's been a bunch of stuff going on with Donald Trump, propaganda spreading, and fact checks had to come out on Reuters and AP News. The fact check was, in Trump's fraud trial, did the judge instruct the jury that it doesn't have to be a unanimous vote? The answer is no. The judge did not instruct the jury of that. It did have to be unanimous. But, people lie, of course. Rudy Giuliani comes out here and just lies about it. Blatantly. Flagrantly. So they did a fact check. And you know what AP News and Reuters used as the source? The original document. They had a photocopy of the jury instructions that you can click and pull up. That is a source. And you know what? If the website has a source on it, you can use that as a source. You probably shouldn't, but you could. But Zero Hedge has nothing on it. It's just saying things without any evidence at all.
But obviously, I understand the author was, I believe, something called 0 Point Now.
Right. You think it's his real name?
I doubt it.
Right. So somebody called 0 Point Now write something on a website called iBankCoin, which is then picked up by Zero Hedge. You do absolutely nothing to determine if any words in this have any accuracy at all, and you play it on air and make comments about it, right?
Yes.
You have no idea who that is, right?
No.
You have no idea if they're a reliable source or not, right?
No.
You never heard of that person before.
Or I believe so, no.
Pseudonym or whatever it may be, right? You definitely never run a story like 0 Point Now before, correct?
I don't believe so.
They'd never run a story about or from 0 Point Now? Is that what they said? That's interesting.
Or I believe so, no.
Pseudonym or whatever it may be, right? You definitely never run a story like 0 Point Now before, correct?
I don't believe so.
This was republished, as you said, by a website called Zero Hedge, right?
Yes.
Also, not a reliable source, correct?
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it's reliable, he says. Sometimes it's a reliable source. This has to be a joke, right? If it's only a reliable source sometimes, then it's not a reliable source at all. God, dude, this is just so stupid. So stupid. Does he understand how stupid that is? Did he at the time?
Sometimes it isn't. Right?
That's the point. Sometimes it's not.
Perhaps.
So let me
He knew that, apparently. He doesn't know the first thing about logic or journalism or anything.
right?
Perhaps.
So let me ask you this: if you get something from a source and you look and say, you know, this source sometimes is reliable, sometimes they're way out there and unreliable. Isn't it incumbent on you to check it and do some sort of vetting before you put it on air?
Dude, I can't believe he has to sit there and walk this dude through this mental process.
Yes, I could have done a better job.
You didn't do anything. What do you mean do a better job? He literally grabbed a paper from somebody and started talking about it on air.
I could have done a better job.
You could have done a job, right? You did nothing. You could have done something, right?
Well, I was live on air at the time, so it was given to me and I covered it.
So he's passing the blame off to his staff or whatever. I don't even know if that's true, but...
Is it an excuse to say I didn't have time? Is that an excuse to defamation, to defaming Mr. Hessler? Is that an excuse to you? I just didn't have time?
Can you repeat or rephrase the question?
Anyway, yeah, Owen Shroyer, Alex Jones. Terrible. Terrible people. And Alex Jones is getting his just desserts. Is that what they say? He's getting his just desserts. He claimed, there was another clip from him. One more I wanted to find. Let me see if I can find it. This is going a little bit long, but, oh yeah, well, I love this picture. I will eat your leftist ass, Alex Jones. He really said that. I think he posted this picture. What he was saying was, I'm going to eat your leftist ass if I have to, you know? Like, the apocalypse comes and there's nothing else to eat, I'm going to eat you. But it did not come across that way.
I've literally fought these people from day one, knowing
Who are these people, quote unquote?
I was right. But this is probably our last broadcast. And to have these demons after us, they're so pathetic, but it's okay. So we hope we're back tomorrow. We don't know we'll be back, but we're under total attack. It's okay. I love you.
They're basically putting locks on the doors and seizing everything and bringing it to auction and selling it off to give the money to the parents. That's what's happening right now.
So much, and I appreciate all the crew and all of you. So let's just finish up right now.
A life that's full.
Okay, no thank you. I don't need any music. Yeah, I guess that's the end. That's how it ended, like that. Wow, man. I'm sorry. I love it. I'm eating this up right now. I'm eating this up even harder than Alex Jones is going to eat your leftist ass. Anyway, all right. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. I love everything about it.